Disclaimer. This podcast showcases business partners and friends that engage in lively conversations about books over many drinks. Content may not be suitable for viewers under 21.
Is it? All right, you ready? Let's top this baby off.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you like better?
The basil.
You like the basil. Okay.
I did, but it's still good. Really good.
You just had all of that in the garden. I want to share the love.
I had a basil plant. It died. I didn't know it at the time that when it starts flowering, you're supposed to actually... Yeah, I didn't know. Now I know. But I actually bought a basil plant from Publix.
That's one of the ones that's out there.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm hoping that I can be able to
Get her a pot.
make more babies.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see. Oh my God.
Are you okay?
Oh, thank God.
Liquor is okay.
Oh, yeah.
We've been pre-gaming. No, we'll just keep it going. Okay. Why not? So y'all, we started this podcast in hopes to take you kind of on a journey with us through literary and libations, to really help you, I guess, inspire you and encourage you along your business and entrepreneurial journey, and just show you that business can be fun.
Business isn't boring, guys. Mm-hmm. It's okay to drink and have a good time.
Right? This is why we say, grab a good book.
Get some awesome booze.
And grab a good buddy to share it with. Cheers!
Kristen, what are we drinking?
Well, you liked the smash from last week so much. So. And rosemary is growing in abundance in my garden too right now. And blackberries are in abundance in Publix right now. And this rum is amazing, by Greenhouse Gin. Mm-hmm. Oh, just so good. I want to get the rest of their fleet. Like, they've got several vodkas, and they have a peppered gin.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
I like gin.
Yeah, we like gin a lot. So anyways, there's this whole, you got to go to the website for Greenhouse, because their bottles are all beautiful. You can see it. They're artistic. Yeah. And the whole website is an emotional journey. Yeah, very pretty.
Butterflies, everything is very vintage looking.
Yep.
So good.
So good.
And hashtag, I got a sidecar.
Yeah, she was taking her time last episode, and Kevin's like, you didn't even finish it. She goes, I didn't have a sidecar. I had to pace myself.
I had to pace myself. It was so hard. If you look at the last one, I kept looking at her drink. I'm like, okay,
where is she at?
Not yet.
Well, now we have a timer that we can watch, and we kind of know where we're at for the episode. And yeah, so bottoms up, my friend, because this is a repeat. Okay, here we go. Yes. So, okay. So the gin by Greenhouse, and then just a plug to Dynasty Spirits, who I guess is a house that has a lot of these small, privately owned, artisanal, either gins. I think there's a few tequilas in there too. I mean, he's in Texas, so right at the border.
I like Dynasty. What a great name you guys picked.
Right? Yeah, and that's Devin Odell. And yeah, I'm excited to learn more. There's not a lot of information that I've been able to find.
Yeah.
But I just, it is all about supporting small business.
And you guys did a really good job on this gin. I mean, we've had a lot. And honestly, one of my favorite gins is Monkey 47. And this is really up there. I like it.
It's so good. And I like the sweetness to it, especially when we balance it then with citrus and more herbs. Yeah. But to drink it just straight on ice, which we were doing.
Oh, no, not even on ice. It
so
was
good. Just straight.
Yeah.
I like my gins chilled, personally. But yes. It tasted good, just really good. A neat pour. Absolutely.
And it really, because it already has like a little fruity flavor to it. I said Jolly Rancher, right? It's almost like a watered down Jolly Rancher. Pairing it up the way you did with the blackberries. Yes.
It's a version of a smash. We just did it in that taller glass. But yeah, why not celebrate what fruits are in abundance right now? And then my garden is just, I need it to trim in ways.
Look at, we're talking about garden because the book we're reading is The Pumpkin Plan, right? Talking about farming and cultivating your great, juiciest, biggest pumpkin.
Absolutely.
In this case is great, juicy
blackberries.
And
Jen. And rosemary. So yes, last week we got to kind of meet Mike and his journey of his business owning him.
Yeah.
Which seems to be a thread in some of these business books we read.
Yes.
And, you know, the solution given to him was to basically, you got to cut out, you know, your bottom clients.
Yeah.
Those clients that they're either giving you a headache or they're not respecting or not matching your why, I guess is more what it is.
Yeah. One. And the crucial part is knowing your why, right? Because I think as business owners, we allow ourselves to be run by our company in the fact that we haven't defined exactly why we've decided to do this company yet, or be in this company, create this company, what our vision is, all that other stuff. When you don't know it, that just leaves you to have a business operating by default instead of being intentional. And that's where the whole thing of just letting your business run you versus the other way around.
Absolutely. Yeah. And he talked about how pumpkin farmers will, you know, plant a whole bunch of pumpkin seeds, cultivate them. And then as they identify which one is going to be the prize one, the big one. And it's interesting to note, I feel like as we get into these next few pages, he finally explains that it's not just about growing the biggest pumpkin, because it's what the biggest pumpkin then does for the community.
Yeah.
The amount of food that it provides.
Yeah.
It's huge. And talk about being worth its weight in gold, taking it all the way back to a seed.
Yeah.
Apparently, seeds for some of these giant pumpkins can be anywhere from $500 to $18,000.
I'm in the wrong business. I have decided I'm in the wrong business.
We need to sell giant pumpkin seeds.
Yeah, we need to go sell. What's another? You know what? I'm going to do some research to find out what other squash I can sell. Or they have open competitions for, and we're going to go do that.
We'll do that. Well, and the end of the last few pages with the last episode, we didn't have time to get into it, but he was talking about one particular farmer who his intention was to grow a pumpkin big enough to put his baby boy in year after year.
Yeah.
So each year he had to figure out then eventually how to put an 18-year-old in a pumpkin. You know, so that's, you know, you learn.
Yeah, talk about your why.
So, right. And then he zeroes, you know, wrapping up from recapping the other podcast or the other week, your area of innovation and how that can really help you hone in on which clients to cultivate and maintain and to hold on to. And really your best clients can help you figure out your area of innovation too.
Their feedback can help most definitely.
And Mike gets into that time and time again in this.
I like how the area of innovation is kind of referencing back in Saige Consultants where we talk about entrepreneurs disrupting the market.
Mm-hmm.
That is the area of innovation.
Absolutely.
Right?
There's something that you find a way that needs to be done more efficiently or for a better price or at better quality. You know, his 3 lists, and you want to launch a business, turn your passion into profit. Yeah, absolutely. And it's really neat to watch him take us through these different example situations and then know some of the stories of the people we've partnered with and helped with. But that's really what he talks about is how do you end up getting rid of some of those other clients to continue to grow your business. And in this one, he gives a few solutions. After you've listed your clients and you've really grouped together your best clients, and you have your bottom clients, how do you get rid of them? That's delicate.
It is delicate, but you know, actually in the last episode that we did, you spoke about in customer service that, you know, you're focused on retention. Mm-hmm. So cutting off a customer is like huge for you.
Terrifying.
However, but solidifying your boundaries, you don't have to do it. The customer ends up doing it
on their own.
Yeah.
And that's what he suggests. There are ways that you can do that naturally. So for example, if you decide you're going to go after quality, then when you raise your prices, those ones that you've been working for way too hard and just they're not putting food on your table, you know, they will naturally fall off.
Yeah.
Those ones, depending on your business, that are like draining you in their delayed billing and things like that. When you decide to shorten your terms.
Yeah. They're going to say, oh, no.
I'm going to go somewhere else.
We're not a fit any longer.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're right.
Right. And then he does suggest, there's, you could, hey, I'm working exclusively with this client. You're a competition, depending on,
Yes.
I mean, I don't ever recommend lying.
No.
For business.
No, it's not. And authenticity, I mean,
is important. Yeah.
It's going to breed loyalty, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So
Absolutely.
just being really authentic. And listen, I've had to really lay down some whoppers in the past of just being really truthful. It wasn't nice, but being truthful actually set me free. Mm-hmm. Because at the end, the person on the other side received it so much better than I thought they would. But it was only because of the fact that I was truthful in my delivery. Truthful.
Honest. In vino veritas. How can you drink? There's truth. So I love this, how he gives examples, different industries. Well, this particular one, he takes a writer who for a while was just taking every possible writing gig. And I feel like we read a little bit about this in Think and Grow Rich.
Yes.
Right. Her life goal was to be a writer. So she needed to say yes to anything and everything for a while. But the journey of this particular authoress and writer was then eventually she kind of honed in on who she really connected with in writing for. And that allowed her to turn into her own company in writing for them. And that's where her exponential growth came, is when she weeded out those customers who, I think she had to write an article about male anatomy enhancement.
I'm pretty sure she enjoyed it too.
Well, and Mike says that it doesn't work, but don't ask him how he knows. But anyways, when she cut off what didn't align with her why.
Yeah.
And she honed in on which clients really matched her vision, her focus, everything like that. She was then able to grow, and now she has a team of people and she has her own business. So it seems really scary to say cut off some of the clients or the income or the systems or the even employees. He gets into that.
Yeah.
That are not fueling your business in the direction that it needs to, or draining the business so it can grow. And and this is where she really gets in, or he gets into, after discussing this authoress, there's 3 types of clients. He doesn't do a lot of lists, but it's okay that
they're always in threes.
They're always in threes. 3s, 5s, right? It's got to be an odd number. But he says there are good clients, there are non-existent clients, and then there are bad clients.
Yeah.
And then,
yes.
And you and I were kind of talking about this before the episode.
And we were, because one of the things I struggled with when I first read this book is that I had certain selling platforms that we were using in Be Chic. And, the idea of, oh my goodness, I'm going to cut this one off, but this one's generating a lot of money. But then really looking at, okay, how much time are they taking and resources from the business, and saying, okay, maybe we did. So we did. We actually kind of pivoted and said, hey, let's really focus on the ones that have the potential to make more money, that align with the vision of the company. And we just kind of, and the saying is run with your runners, right? So that's what we did. We ran with our runner. But something that wasn't accounted for, and he covers this briefly in the book, is that every business goes through a season. So depending on the customer you're with, if in our case, we were dealing with other companies, and this particular company ran its season and they went through winter and they went belly up. So we had,
but you nurtured them as your best client.
Yes. And they were, and they really were. We nurtured them as our best client, and they were our best client. But
when it was done, it was done.
When it was done, it's done. And it happened abruptly. It didn't happen like a slow trickle effect. It just was like from one day to the next was bam, done. And so that needs to be taken into account. If you're going to run with your runners, that's fine. But understand that sometimes, depending on the runner, right? In this case, it was a business, there is a season to them. Okay. Not all the time are they going to be actively investing or spending or importing a cash flow into your business as they were previously, because there are seasons to things. So it's a matter of finding runners to run with, but more than just one runner.
Absolutely.
You want to
Well,
build
and even Mike talks about this, and this is good. He says, you find out what your top clients want from your industry. And I think I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself with this, and then you figure out your area of innovation for your top clients. And then naturally, your other clients are going to benefit from that. Yeah. So it's not saying to only have that small nest egg.
Yes.
But it's to really cater to them so that you can really figure out how to improve your business and hone in on your niche, your area of innovation, and cut off the dead weight. There's going to be tons of customers that naturally join the fold, and they get the benefits of how you evolved for those top clients. Yeah. But you definitely don't want to put all your eggs in one basket at all. Yeah. But those top clients are the ones that really teach you what your business needs to be.
And I think a lot of that is going to be, like Kristen just said, define who your client is, define your why. When you do that, it will, money will be the byproduct, like we talked about. Your clients will understand that and will be attracted to you because of the vision, the why, your business model. But I think sometimes the message could be lost a little bit. We're not telling you, he does. I'm getting ahead of myself. There is a list that he goes through that tells you how to define what your customers are. Yeah. So we're not telling you, if you've gone to this point in the episode, we're not telling you to fire half your people. Okay. Don't do that. Stay tuned. Okay.
Stay with us.
Stay with us.
Be right back. But then this is where Mike infuses what he calls his immutable laws.
Yes.
Because there are certain things that he functions as and with as a business owner. And that's where he needs to align with his customers, especially his top customers. So, Mike, the author, talks about some of his, I like his, he goes, he's
animated.
Give to give, work to work, and just enjoy what you're doing. That's one of his immutable laws. I love his second one. No dicks allowed.
I like that one. No Richards allowed. It's like, yes.
Johnson's.
No Johnson.
He's not honing in on the female species here. He is just saying, don't be that customer. Yeah. He doesn't want that. He doesn't want that in his
I've
business.
Experienced that. I've experienced where, you're having a conversation with someone and you see the way he referenced a certain person that he was going to do business with, and this person talked to their team member a certain way, and he did not appreciate that at all. And
unacceptable.
So with however much time early as possible, he made sure that divorce happened.
Severed that relationship. Absolutely. And then he has another immutable law that he calls blood money, which means profit first and no unnecessary spending.
Yeah, it's not meant gangsters, guys. He didn't kill anyone. It was when he first said it, blood money. I was like, dude.
Well, but for him, as who he is, he has no problem being frugal. Mm-hmm. He doesn't need the Escalade. He doesn't need the mansions. So he's picked what his value points are. So he needs to align with his customers and his employees.
I dare say, I believe every business needs this. I think, man. I mean, I'm going to make this quick because I don't want this to go on for
a tangent.
180
its own episode.
180 minutes. But, when you come into business and you start having money coming into you, all the things that you wanted materially, you start buying them all, thinking that's going to bring happiness to you. But it really doesn't. And I like where he says, be frugal where you need to be frugal, right? It's just really appreciating what... If you want that particular car, is that car bringing you happiness, or the act of purchasing it? Mm-hmm. Because you are in another status that you're able to purchase that car. And now that makes you feel better.
Absolutely. Well, and we didn't dig into it too much with his example of Bruce, who was bleeding dry and borrowing money from his parents, but Bruce was driving, I think, an Escalade.
He was driving an Escalade, but then want to complain about how he's broke in business and how it's not doing well. And we're like, dude, get rid of the car. You're going to save yourself some money.
Well, and I think this is the danger, right? Like, a lot of times, even parents and schools do not teach kids and the future the concept of financial stability and growth.
Oh, no. Actually, they foster it, because how many times parents that have kids in middle school, please tell me you can commiserate with me, okay? How many times has your kid gone to school, especially if they're in public middle school, okay? And then they come back to you and say, hey, I want those sneakers because these sneakers are in style and it means this and it means that. And they're bugging you and bugging you and bugging you for this particular brand of sneaker, right?
It's an identity.
Because they identify with it, but it gives them status, right?
But we carry that into adulthood.
We do, but it also stems from the parenting. That's the other thing. Parents, if your kid is like that, and I hate to say it, but it is a reflection upon us as a society. Okay, so if your child is coming to you like that, I'm not saying that you did it yourself, but
we're perpetuating the system. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah,
my word, girl, over here. Especially when I've been drinking.
We're just taught to believe, that we should get a good job or open a good business and work really hard at it so that we can buy a house and buy the dream car and keep up with the Joneses. That's kind of the dream cycle versus understanding assets versus liabilities and how everything is.
I think everything boils down to, you want to know what's really valuable is time. The moment you can buy back time is the moment you actually became rich. And that's the part where I don't think a lot of people understand. And time is bought by how you spend it, not this wise, but emotionally, with love, with your family, with experiences. That's why travel has become a huge thing. And especially after the pandemic, there's been a huge paradigm in how people perceive time.
Absolutely. And this is where Mike gets into also with a business. Like if you're launching a business, but you're stuck working it.
Yeah.
Then it's still a job.
Just go and get a job.
Yeah.
At least it'd save you half the headache. Just go back to corporate or go back to whatever it is that you were doing and work for someone else. It'll save you half the headache.
Because what he's trying to help business owners do is make something that will grow healthy enough that then you can bring somebody in to manage it for you. Not everybody's cut out for business ownership.
And
there
that's
are
okay.
some people that are amazing, leaders and supporters of a business when it aligns with their vision. And all these roles are equally important and amazing.
They are.
So if you have the vision to be a business owner, then how do you grow your business in a way that you can then employ others? And if you're not employing others, it is just another job.
Yeah. And what does JOB stand for?
Just over broke.
So Danny and I were actually talking about that, where we were talking about how the world doesn't just need business owners. We, in this particular podcast, are emphasizing business mindset optimization. We're talking about how these books apply to business. That doesn't mean that everyone here needs to be a business owner. Okay. The world is a great, it's like the body. It's a perfect machine. It's a great balance in the way our ecosystem works. And we need both business owners, but we also need people who do align with the company and the business owner's vision.
Absolutely.
Right? And are willing to work with the business owner to make dreams possible. So I just want to say that at no point in time do Kristen and I say you are not worthy if you are not a business owner. We're not saying that.
No.
Yeah.
Some of my happiest parts of my development is I worked with an incredible husband and wife team that had launched a designer bridal business. And just being kind of the face of the business for them because they didn't step away from their careers. He was in education. She was also in retail. And they just needed somebody to run the business. It was amazing, right? And it was a great relationship because I was used to corporate. I was able to bring in the standardization and things like that and help them grow. And they were at a position where this small business wasn't going to replace their 6-figure income where they were at an executive level. So they maintained that and grew this as their nest egg.
That's cool.
It was amazing. It was absolutely. And that was the right step for that time of my life too.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready. I certainly didn't figure out. I was giving the excuse I didn't have the financial means to launch my own business, And now I know that that's not an excuse.
It is.
Right.
You do it on your dining room table.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no.
Absolutely. So I love how he takes us through example after example. And I'm trying to decide kind of which one to go through. But what I really love is when he talks about the gentleman, John, who launched a solar panel business.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
This was a great journey because John, he decided he liked John because the sister of John told Mike that John read his other book, I guess, Toilet Paper Entrepreneur or something like that.
I haven't read that one yet.
That might be a good one.
At some point. Put that on the list.
But anyways, and because of things that he wrote in there, his business, I guess, more than doubled.
Yeah.
So Mike's, of course, will let me meet this guy. Not only is he a fan of mine.
Yeah, but he ranks like top of something, of some list or something.
So what John did is, John was, he went linear, right? He was trying to do solar panels and the water heaters that go with solar, all that.
Yeah.
And he was just never getting ahead, but he had spread himself too thin is what it was. When he took the risk, cut off those water heater customers, he was then able to get solar panels installed faster and at a better price, which then his business just exploded.
Yeah.
And then instead of him working 6 or 7 days a week, missing holidays, everything we hear time after time when the business runs the client, he, was traveling with his family, making the money they want.
Yeah.
It just,
he wasn't closing $10,000 deals. He was closing $40,000 deals.
Right, or enough $10,000 ones that it, and because he could do that quickly.
Yeah.
It just depends. Are you quantity or you quality?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, absolutely. So Mike kind of wraps up this section and making sure that Mike wraps up this section of really making sure you understand how to really pick who your best clients are. And he wants you to do this. And he says, if you haven't started your business yet, then aligning with your why and kind of naming your best client, like who will be your best client, the client who is this, because I guarantee you they're out there. Even if you want to be crazy, my best client is going to want me to call them by name and they're going to spend X amount of money on me every quarter. They're out there.
My best client likes to drink blackberry rosemary smashes while talking about books. And watches me on YouTube.
Right. I love it. So he wraps up with this one. He talks about working the plan. Well, he really wants you to take your client list and, he really gives some great examples.
Yeah.
Pumpkinplan.org.
Yes.
Right. And we're going to do this for our next episode. Actually, we're going to print off the charts and kind of do it as well.
Yeah. Kristen's going to fill out one. I'll fill out another. And then we'll
come together.
We'll come together. So please print them out and do it with us.
Absolutely. So he, says he has multiple steps for how to first identify who your top clients are, who your bottom are, and then how to align if you're struggling with who your top are, when you take your area of innovation and in your why, how to find who your top clients are in case it isn't that crystal clear.
Yeah.
And then after that, work the plan, he does like to wrap it up with another industry. So I love this one with the dog walking business.
Yeah.
And a lot of dog walking businesses, they're competitive in the cities.
I have, an old neighbor of mine, Jordan, if you're listening, I'm so in awe of you. She has her own dog walking business, and this girl is banking it. I'm thinking of closing my business and going working for hers because I love animals. She's making bank, right? And she's helping out people, who can't do it. So what a great why.
So he takes the example of, okay, you want to have a dog walking business. Well, competition's stiff. There's lots of people in your neighborhood who want to do it. So how do you improve your business? And he says, talk to your best clients. What do they want out of your industry? That's the thing. You can't say, what do you want from me? Because then everybody's really afraid to offend people. So what do you want from my industry? And he says in this example, maybe that those people don't like that their dogs are walked with like 6 other dogs, and it's so rude. Like, it's just cold, right? I'm going to walk you at 10 a.m., then I'm going to walk you at 2 p.m., then I'll walk you at 6 p.m. before your owners get home. Maybe they don't want that. Maybe they want more for their pet. Yeah. So how do you create a basically exclusive canine caregiver service where that particular canine, yes, you charge more, maybe even 4 times more.
This is a daycare, right?
Yes, they get to go on exclusive little hikes, and you add pictures of what the pooch is doing. Yeah. And maybe you actually brush them and groom them a little. So there's things you can do within your industry that will raise the bar and set you apart from competition. So what a great way to kind of wrap up, right, this particular, I think we're pages 50 to 100 here.
Halfway through the book.
Through the book. Yes, absolutely. So, wow, this has been great.
It has been. It's a really good book. And Mike Michalowicz, Toilet Paper, what was it? Toilet Paper
Entrepreneur, something like that.
Toilet Paper Entrepreneur. I haven't read that one yet, but he actually is the author of Profit First, which is one that I have read. And he mentioned another book that I can't remember right now that's in there. And he's done like four, maybe some more now. 4 or 5 books that he's authored. But I really love how he writes. And if you have the audio, the audible version of it, he's actually reading it.
Listen to. Oh, and he's the one reading it.
He's reading it himself.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that.
So something to dive into, especially if you're just starting in business yourself. It's a great basis.
Absolutely.
You're going to read it. You're going to have questions, but it is a great basis for you to start on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you for recommending it. I'm glad I wasn't ready to fight with this one, because I told you starting out, I was like, cancel my customers? No way.
Yeah.
Couldn't make me do that.
It's like it's on their work.
Yeah. But I understand where he's coming from.
Yeah.
It's not just cutting off a 4th of your customers. It's,
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, y'all, thank you for joining us for this episode. Woo! All right. Grab a good book.
Look how much of the sidecar.
And it'll just top us off.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, grab a good book.
Get some great booze, guys.
Grab an amazing buddy to share it with. And we'll see you guys next week. Cheers, y'all.
Bye, guys. Oh, please, like, share, subscribe.
Yes, we're trying to grow this channel. We want to expand our reach. We want to help more people.
Yeah.
So if you like and you share,
yes, that helps us out tremendously. Please look up Greenhouse, by the way. Fantastic.
Okay, I mean, so good.
So
we need
good.
to buy like the fleet.
Yeah,
to try it all.
Really, really good. And if you find yourself in a bind, things that we've talked about right now in this podcast, if you went to pumpkinplan.org, you downloaded some of the PDFs, you really started noodling on some of those questions that he was asking, thought-provoking questions, and you just kind of stuck and you're like, man, I don't really know what my why is. I don't really know where I should be focusing and what clients I should be cutting. SaigeConsultants.com. Believe it or not, guys, we are consultants. Just, you wouldn't tell, but no, I'm playing, guys. We have a good time.
Yeah.
Business is fun. Okay? It doesn't have to be stuck up. It doesn't have to be all about status, and you don't have to lie to yourself. Business can be fun. So if you find yourself in the bind, SaigeConsultants.com. We're here to help you and have some fun.